BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top traders. If you sign up with the link in the description, you get a free $100 when you deposit $100. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to have a think about XRP today. So XRP, obviously after the SEC's big massive mess up, and we shot all the way from, I suppose, like the entry point that we were talking about on the Patreon. We were saying, oh look, there's not much difference at the moment between the exact level that we're at before we launched, which would have been the 200 exponential. Normally a good place to think about buying, or the 200 simple, which again marks the low of the first initial run up and consolidation. I said, look, you know, this is the first stage of XRP's, well, you can call it bull market, or the fulfillment of the market cycle that it usually has. This is not the first one, it's sort of the second one, this is the third one, I believe this is now the fourth one, where it always performs in the same way. Big parabolic run, consolidation, big parabolic run, same old, same old. As I said, look, this is the first little run up here. The next one will be equally as good, and the only place to think about buying it would be 200 exponential or simple, I suppose. So the simple caught the low, exponential caught the last stop, and then bang, SEC took us all the way up to the top of the range, which was 90. So look, this is a 60 to 90% range, right? So when this moves, first sell order will be 60, last sell order will be 90. This is the range that we'll be going into. It sounded crazy at the time, and obviously I wasn't predicting the SEC to do, you know, to finish the court case and this to be the outcome. But as far as the trading range is concerned, it remains absolutely appropriate. So we lost all that area. We come back down. Thou giveth, thou taketh away. That's what we say for XRP. And so at the moment we're trending down below both the 200 simple and exponential on the daily. One thing to note, though, is that there has not been any death cross, and it's not just XRP that's come down. It's been pretty sad for crypto generally. It's been static. The liquidity's low. I mean, even we got just short of 50 million traded on Binance in the last 24 hours. So that's not much in comparison to how XRP usually trades. So it's suffering as much as everything else is when it comes to liquidity and volume. That's the main thing. But on a technical basis, we're above a Bollinger Band. We had a retest of that and it had some kind of reaction. So far, we're above the 10 exponential, and the only moving averages above us is 200 simple exponential and 50 simple and exponential on the daily. That's also this major horizontal as well, which is the 51.5 cent zone, which is more or less where we were struggling from before. And if you're looking to take positions or get excited even about XRP making another run up towards 60 and maybe even 90, we do need to reclaim that area. But on the daily so far, things don't look all that bad. They look actually okay. The momentum is moving towards the up. The money flow index is quite high, sitting around 71. So if we did have another big move up, which we could, I'm not saying that we will, but if we did, the chances of it, thou giveth, thou taketh away, is still quite strong. I wouldn't expect it to sustain a higher price, but it's XRP and it can do these big runs. Of course it can, but it's not likely to do it until we've reclaimed 51.5 to 52 cents, right? Now we're going to have a look at the 4 hourly for something, because the 4 hourly is just as sort of, I suppose, weak. And obviously, because it's a 4 hourly, we've had death crosses of simples and then exponentials and then follow through. But just as of now, really, and you really have to get your microscope out to see it, but we do have a golden cross formed on simple moving averages recently, over the last 24 hours, on the 4 hourly. So the 4 hourly's got that golden cross. The golden crosses aren't signals in themselves, but they are showing, I suppose, a potential change of trend, and obviously we've been going down for a long period of time, marked a low down here at 46, and we've been trending up since then, hitting the 200 exponential, getting knocked back down again around that 51 to 52 cent zone roughly. So at the moment, if there were to be an entry point for hopium on XRP, it would be a retest of that golden cross, which is really just a fraction of a percent lower than where the price action sits right now. You do need to have a bit more confidence in the overall market, Bitcoin's still hanging around above the major supports of 26,250, which is like a really big deal for Bitcoin. That is like a major area. And obviously, if we come down to that and get supported on that, and we could easily see a V-shaped recovery on Bitcoin, and that you would imagine will only benefit other altcoins that have strong looking charts, namely at the moment things like, well, I suppose XRP to an extent, and Chainlink, and obviously a handful of others. But most altcoins don't have a strong looking chart, but some of them have a better chart than Bitcoin, which is why I'm trying to highlight those ones. It's not that these are coins that are going to make you multi-millionaires with a $10 investment, but we're talking risk to reward. We're trying to outperform Bitcoin where we can, and this looks like it has the potential to do that only if Bitcoin can behave itself really and remain above those areas. So the retest would be sitting down here, and then obviously the main thing would be to focus on the 51.5 to 52 cent to see if we can break that. Can't underestimate the power of that resistance, to be honest. That is a very, very, very strong resistance on both 4 hourly and on daily, but once that is done, then it would be a pretty plain sailing up to 60 cents for this. And then in classic XRP fashion, it's likely to see higher than that. But given what we see here on the daily, especially with the money flow, it's unlikely to go beyond its previous local high, and if it did, it wouldn't remain there. So let's have a quick look at the weekly to see what's going on the weekly. So yeah, I mean the weekly would say that 54 cent being the center of the range here could prove to be a temporary resistance, but breaking that, again, plain sailing. All of this is back on the cards again, really. We're talking 60, probably looking around 75, and then up to 90. All of those areas absolutely on the cards, really, for a move. But judging by the momentum on the weekly, it doesn't really want to do that. The money flow index, however, is pretty low here. So yeah, if we did have a big shoot up on the daily, you'd probably have a big move up, then a consolidation, and potentially from there you could go on for another run after the money flow index has reset, basically. So we might not see a consolidation all the way back down to where we started from, like we did this time. You might see a consolidation maybe back down to around 60, and then beyond from there. So the weekly says we can go higher if you want to. It's not too much of a big problem. But the daily is saying that if we did go up to the top of the range, it would have to come back down before it went any further. Again, I don't believe there's any news or any events which is going to help XRP do this move. It's solely based on its own merit, which is usually where the best moves are made. And at the moment, we have to face facts that the 51 to 52 cent zone is like a major resistance. And if we are going to get this move, it would be once that 52 cent is reclaimed, preferably retested, and then up and away. So if there were to be a futures trade take place on this, there's two ways to go about it. There's one which could exist right now, which is a lot riskier. Obviously, tight stop losses would be needed, and see where we go from there. You just hope that you break the resistance. I don't like longing into resistance or at resistance. That's kind of not really for me. The best way would be to see if we get the break, pull back into the previous resistance that hopefully flips as support, take the position around the 51 to 52 cent zone, and then hopefully see it sail up towards 60, 75 and 90, and we'll see where we go from there. But it's not a bad chart, in all fairness. It's actually a good chart, and unlike most other altcoins, and Bitcoin included, it's actually one of the better charts, which a lot of people won't like that. Some people will, but it's the truth. It's actually one of the better charts. And I believe that XRP will continue to behave as it always has, which is pretty well. I know people stand back and go, but XRP has got a yeah, but XRP, remember, if you're thinking about things that have held their price from the inception of when they came out, XRP was like a fraction of a cent when it came onto the market, and now we're trading at 50. So when people talk about XRP being an underperformer, I mean, it's still up hundreds of X's since its humble beginnings. So which is pretty good, right? Over the previous cycle, yeah, it was not as good as people expected, but it was also the first altcoin on the SEC's hit list. And until the SEC came in and ruined that for XRP, it was fulfilling its market cycle exactly as expected. I made a video about it saying around here, I said, look, we're looking for a big boom, 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 all the way up, probably to a new all-time high. Probably would have got that, but SEC came in and ruined the party here, and then it did actually do all right despite the SEC. But underperformed the expectations. This time round is unlikely to underperform expectations. I think we are going to go on to make a new all-time high for XRP, because we're out of the woods when it comes to all of that. All we've got now is the previous market cycles to go by, which they point to new all-time highs. It's probably not going to be $557 or whatever the crazy people like to speculate, but a new all-time high all the same. So yeah, XRP for the win. It's continuing with its prior move up in its previous market cycle, and the one that we can see now, like a carbon copy of how it behaved. Giant consolidation, breaks out, big move up, big move up, big move up. Giant consolidation, big move up, big move up. What comes next? Most likely a big move up, but we're talking spot trading at this point, or just basically investing. The chances of XRP making a brand new all-time high, very, 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 very likely. And the chances of it making a decent move in the short term, it's reasonable to expect, to be honest, but the criteria has to be above 52 cents. I'm building a base above there, back to 60, 75 and 90. Right, thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.